And it's time for another matchup in the first round of the AF Lager Championship. Oh yes, it's still the first round, even though we're halfway through the second round. Because when I was in Tesco, I noticed that there was another lager that I hadn't put in. It was and so interesting, I thought I had to shove it in. It is this one. It is the Athletic Lager, which they seem to have got in recently. Now, I'm assuming they'll have it to stay because they've got the Athletic Pale. The Days Lager is allowed in. The Lost AF is allowed in. The Lucky Saint was allowed in. So let's shove another crafty lager in there as well. And that, I thought, where should I put it? I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll put it against the Asahi, because the Asahi has been crying out for a first round matchup. So let's get it up against the Asahi and see that bottom slot in the table, whether the Asahi is going to occupy it or whether it's going to be occupied by the Athletic. Oh yes, all things are changing here. Hopefully after this first round nothing else will change. So there we go. So yeah, the Asahi is actually going to be up against the Athletic in the first round of the championship. So let's get these poured out into glasses and I will see what I think of it. Okay, beer's poured. And let's have a look at these. So, yeah, this one, the head is dissipating incredibly quickly. Looking at it, it was a lot bigger than that when I came to the table. That one is holding onto its head a little bit more. First of all, let's tell you which one is which. So this is which one is which. Okay, that's which one was which. Let's have a look at these two. So, this one is pale, looks a little bit hazy, and it's... yeah, I think they're both a similar colour. This one's got a little bit more amber in it. This is a pale straw colour. This one is a little bit hazy. This one is crystal clear. There's not much else we can say about it. Bit of a head on that one when I reinvigorate it, if that's a word. This one, yeah, getting a bit more of a head. Be interesting, this. Let's get a nose. So let's get a nose on this one first. Ooh, quite a bit of lemon. Quite a bit of lemon, a little bit of something else. A little bit Klausthaler-y in the smell, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's lemon and something else that's a little bit more savoury in there. Smells a bit like a pale. Smells a bit like an alcohol-free pale. A bit like the Hazy Jane, alcohol-free. Getting lemon, bit of grapefruit. Smells quite hoppy. Yeah, interesting. Let's smell this one then. Quite sweet on the nose, that one. That's sweet, that's malty. That doesn't smell that alcohol-free to me. It smells like a malty lager with a little bit of sharp sweetness, a bit of lemon. I'm trying to think what else. There's something that's quite punchy citrus in this one. It smells quite nice. They both smell quite nice, actually. The only indication I've got as to maybe which one's which is to do with one being hazy and one not, but I'm not going to let that put me off. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll give it a nice, honest, unbiased review. Those heads have perked up a bit now. Let's have a go on the taste. It's all about the taste at the end of the day. Quite big pours these, aren't they? Right, here we go. Cheers. That's quite dry, very thin, no aftertaste to speak of. Let's try again. There's a little bit of that citrusiness. In the flavour. Incredibly light on flavour. If you go searching for flavour, you get a little bit of melted ice cube, a little bit of dishwater, teeny bit of lemon. Not impressed, gotta say. I'll live with them a little bit longer though before I actually make a decision. Let's see what this one's like. Cheers. So that's got a bit of that alcohol-free sweetness up front, which I don't like. It's got a nice whack of bitterness at the end. A little bit of malt. In the flavour, it is quite dry. They've both got very little flavour to them, I would say. But which one do I prefer? Let's try this one again. So this one is smoother. So little flavour to it though. There really is. Wow, that is really, really low in flavour. Let's try this one. Yeah, that sweetness is quite in the background. It's not too sweet. I'd say this possibly is even sweet. It's less sweet than the Warsteiner, I think. It's got a nice bit of bitterness to balance it out. It's not bad, that one, actually. Yeah, a little bit of maltiness, bit of bitterness, teeny bit of citrus, a little bit of an aftertaste. Nice and dry, teeny bit of sweetness. It's not bad. This one's dry and watery. Enough said. That one's going through. That one had a go, but didn't cut it. I'm just gonna. Well, I'm assuming this is the Asahi. It does taste a bit Asahi-ish, and it was clear. This one has a more of a crafty vibe. Thinking it's the Athletic, but it is incredibly low in flavour compared to the Days that I had in the last taste test. It's so weak in flavour. It really is. There's a teeny bit there right in the background. The flavour that is there is nice. There's just not enough of it. It's just really, really weak. So there you go. Let's find out if I was right. And I'll be back in a sec. Okay. So yes, the Asahi was this one, and the Athletic was this one. Yeah, I thought this was going to be better actually, because I thought the Athletic Pale was quite nice. It's just so weak. A little bit of hoppiness in the flavour there, but it's just like the Budweiser with a bit of extra hoppiness. If I'm honest, there's not enough flavour there. This one's got a bit more flavour, but not massively. But it's not bad. It is not bad. So there we go. So Asahi Super Dry. That's the one. Athletic. Well, I put it in. I gave it a chance. It gives an extra little matchup just to add to the championship. But it wasn't good enough to get through to the second round. So the Asahi has fought for its position in the second round, where it will stay. And there you go. We'll be up against whatever it's up against. We'll have to find out. Till next time, have a good one.